Come between, come on this side of the barriers if you could. That's great. Come on over this side. I need you. We need to be friendly. That's all.
Act like you know each other.
Yes. All right. So, good afternoon. I'm Bill Quirk, Assembly member for this area, and so pleased to be here today. First, I want to introduce our special guests, Senator Bob Wieckowski, who represents this area, representing Supervisor Wilma Chan, Karina Rivera. Where is Karina? On her way. There she is. Come on up, Karina. Join us up here. And is Matt Turner here, representing? He's also on his way. I start on time. But Matt Turner will be here in a few minutes. I'll introduce him when he comes up. He's representing Supervisor Nate Miley. Then we have Bijan Sartipi. He is the director for Caltrans for the whole Bay Area. This is an area which has a bigger budget than all except a few, 3 or 4 states. So, Bijan. And then we have to thank the county very much because it was the county's decision to go forward to do this and to allocate $20 million to fix up the road 185 and make it a county road. And that is besides the supervisor's representatives, we have the head of the director of Alameda County Public Works, Daniel Welsenbeck. So this is the sort of bill that a legislature dreams about. A bill that would initiate the process of relinquishment of this street, known as East 14th Street and as Mission Boulevard, but officially Caltrans route, State Route 185. Bob, why don't you come up also? Bob was my co-author as senator, and he was responsible for making sure that this passed through our state senate. Representing him here today and taking pictures is Rocky Fernandez. And I want to just introduce my own staff who worked very hard to get this done. Carolina Salazar Herrera, my district director. Leanne Mendez, who is my district representative. Gwen, who runs my life when I'm here. Gwen Gomez. Deborah Cox, who is our special representative to Ashland, Cherryland, San Lorenzo, Castro Valley, all things Eden unincorporated area. And they worked hard putting this together along with others. So this segment, so at one time Route 185 was the way to get around here. Now we have the freeways. Caltrans really has to pay a lot of attention to the freeways. They are quite happy that instead of this being a place that they have to maintain to go somewhere, the county will maintain as a place to be, a place where hopefully we will have just a place for the community to gather, going to shops, making it a much more vibrant, pedestrian-friendly area that is simply a wonderful place to be, a place that's a destination as opposed to a place that you just pass by. Ashland and Cherryland have gone over many changes in recent years, in large part due to community activism. And I've met with the groups representing Cherryland, San Lorenzo, people who really want to see this area become something new and better. We're standing in front of one of the many projects that helps transform this community, the Ashland Place affordable housing complex, and around the corner, the Reach Youth Center. Across the street, we have Tiburcio Vasquez Health Center. There's a lot of activity here to make life better in Ashland. In November of 2016, the supervisors made this major commitment of $20 million, for which we should all be grateful. This is putting your money where your mouth is. They say they're dedicated to making the unincorporated areas a better place to live. That's what they've done. The bill that we worked on, AB 333, allows Caltrans to give this over to the county. And that is something which you need the legislation, and it is, we are proud. We are proud to have done it. So I want to take the moment right now to thank Nathan Little, who is right here. Raise your hand. We don't do anything without staff. I introduced my district staff, and I don't get anything done here without them. And I can assure you in the Capitol, I rely on Nathan, on Tomasa Duenas, who helped out things when there are little complications here and there. Nathan had to get through them. Tomasa helped. Miranda helped. All these folks, wonderful folks. We depend upon our staffs. They are wonderful. So this is just the start. As I said, this is going to become a place to be. And that's something we can all be very grateful for. Has Matt Turner come yet? Ah, Matt. So Matt is representing Supervisor Miley, whose district this is. And again, we are really so grateful to the supervisors. All right, now I'd like to give this over to Bijan Sartipi, and he will speak for a few moments.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Assemblymember Kirk. It is great to be here today for this wonderful occasion. This is really a day to celebrate the spirit of cooperation that has been developed over many years at the state legislature, at Caltrans and also the county of Alameda. Some time ago, our partners in the county told us that they have an ambitious plan, that they want to do something unique in this segment of the highway. They told us that the driving force behind these improvements were actually individuals within the community. After much discussion, we realized, and I got to tell you, success has different views here. Success is really at the end what the public gets, regardless of who actually delivers it to the public. So after much discussion, we realized that the most effective way that we could achieve the goals that they had was that to turn the highway over. But we could not do that. We were not able to do that unless there was legislation, and that is where Assemblymember Kirk and also Senator Wajkowski come into play. And of course, this is all has to do with what the community, the individuals who are active in this community, wanted the county to do. We are very grateful for the hard work that went into this. And I would like to take a few minutes and just thank a handful of my staff who are here. And I don't do anything without my staff either. They're the ones who actually deliver this. Val Ignacio is standing back there, is the project manager for the project. Eric Shen, I don't think I saw Eric here, is probably busy in the office working. Phyllis Chen, also I didn't see, oh, Phyllis is back there. Worked on the cooperative agreement, and we still have to go through that process. And Chris Chance is standing to my right, our legislative affair. Bob Haas from our external affairs, congratulations, he was just promoted as the chief PIO for the district. This project is just one of many that has come through the spirit of cooperation, and we share this with the Alameda County and our local partners. And it is one of many options available to us when we work with our partners. We already have many projects in the development for this route in different aspects and portions of this route, including an improvement to the crosswalks, an improvement to the sidewalks, and also to some of the ramps at the other end of the project. With the passage of the Senate Bill 1, SB 1, we expect to work very closely with all of the cities and the counties in Bay Area to deliver much needed transportation improvement and in the improvement of transportation infrastructure. SB 1 will provide the resources to help protect and preserve our existing infrastructure and deliver projects that help relieve congestion. We have many of those congested corridors here in this region to improve the movements of goods in the region on the high priority goods movement, and also to fund active transportation projects which improve people's quality of life. I want to thank all of you again for being here. Thank all of those staff who worked very hard to get us here, and certainly thank to the Assembly member for passing the legislation that allow us to do what the public wanted us to do. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, Bijan, and thanks to all of the staff, those who are here today and those who weren't able to make it, for putting on this great event. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Daniel Wilsonbeck. He is Director of Public Works for Alameda County, and he is going to make sure that that the plans that are planned for this route go through quickly, efficiently, and under budget.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for being here. This is an exciting time, and I would like to start by thanking Assembly Member Quirk and Senator Wachowski for really supporting this bill for relinquishment. You know, we started in 2002. For those of you who don't know, Phase 1 started way back from San Leandro to Trush right here using redevelopment funding. And at that time, the street still was Caltrans. And for those of you, Bijan and I work very well. He's extremely responsive. But Caltrans sometimes could be very hard to work with. And we said, if we're going to make this improvement, we're going to have to own this thing. So Bijan was graceful enough to say, you know what, let's work together and let's make it happen. And Assemblymember Quirk and Wachowski helped us realize that dream. Now, I can tell you this is an expensive project. We started out with $20 million, but when you take it all the way to Hayward city limits, it actually goes up to about $60 million. So that's going to require undergrounding, that's going to require a lot of work, and it's going to be a complete street. It's going to have a wide sidewalk, it's going to have bike lanes, it's going to have a beautiful landscape area. Like Assemblymember said, it's going to be the place to be, the place to gather. And Ashland and Chairland will have a place to say, this is a beautiful area, this is ours. So we want to make that happen. We really have a wonderful group of people that we work in the community that are highly dedicated to make sure their community thrives, both in terms of attracting businesses, making it a safe place for them and their kids to walk, be able to bike, not necessarily depend on cars only. It's going to be a very robust route for transit. So this is going to be a very exciting project. And obviously, being the county, we always depend on Caltrans and our elected people to help us get the funding. And one of the success story, of course, Bijan mentioned is SB 1. SB 1 is going to make this project even more successful. Right now, we are working on Phase 2, which the $20 million is mentioned, and that's going to happen real soon. It's currently under design. The consultant is finishing it up. Hopefully, we'll have that thing in the ground pretty soon. And then we're going to go from 238 all the way to the city limits as a Phase 3. That's an even longer project, but we're beginning to do the initial reconnaissance work already. So this is an excellent time. This is a wonderful time for the community. It's a wonderful time for the county. And it's a dream come true for a lot of people that have been waiting for this to happen. And once again, I'd like to thank everybody. And I'd like to acknowledge some of my staff also, which without them, I can't do anything either. The design engineer for this project, the project manager is Amber Lowe right there. Maurice Kaufman, right in front of her, is the Deputy Director for Engineering, and he's going to be the one responsible for most of the work. And Art Carrera is a Principal Engineer in our agency for transportation-related activities. So I don't know if I missed anybody, but I'll be missed if I didn't say that my board, the Board of Supervisors, the 5 people that I report to, Karina and Matt are here representing, have been extremely supportive and have been very dedicated to make sure that the community gets what they're asking for. And this is one thing they're asking for, and I'm making a commitment today that we're going to deliver them within budget, on time. And thank you for being here, and glad to see you all here. Thank you.
I couldn't help but notice that there are 2 women involved in the engineering of this project, and thank you both very much. And we need all the technical people we can get, and we need, particularly for people who don't usually go into the engineering and sciences, minorities, women, to go in greater numbers. And a lot of that is simply cultural, and we have to get beyond that. We've mentioned SB1, but we didn't say what it was. SB1 is the gas tax increase. There hadn't been an increase for 25 years. It went from 18 cents to 12 cents, which is roughly what it would have been with inflation. And there was also, of course, an increase in the diesel tax. And we're saying things will be better because of SB1. It has gone into effect. But there will be something on the ballot to erase that in November, just saying. We have to be aware of what can happen. Let's see. Now I'd like to introduce my partner in crime, Senator Bob Wieckowski. He knew immediately when I said that who it would be.
In case you didn't grasp, these are not slam dunks. I mean, the state does not just give away its assets willy-nilly. Oh, yeah, somebody wants your asset. Oh, we'll just give it to you. That seems like a good idea. We use relinquishment, but there's a process that goes on. Perhaps an overused word now is collaboration. You know, we say it all the time, and if you don't collaborate, then you're a skunk or something bad. But what we're seeing here with Assembly Members Quirk and the Alameda County's idea with Caltrans is to say we can build complete streets. We can build communities, which is not really what Caltrans is in the business of doing. And as you see within the framework of SB1, because we've been working on that for a long time, but for 3 years at least in the latest version of it, we're saying if we're going to do a split as we have where there's some money's going to go to the state to fix up their roads, and some money's going to go to the locals to fix up their roads. And Alameda County, which is a self-help county, says we want to help ourselves. We're willing to put up the money with the first phase. I mean, you must have been as delighted as I was to see, it's not just $20 million. That's the installment. When SB1 money starts coming down, we're committed to continuing all the way to Hayward. There must be a song in there, all the way to Hayward. Who knows it? So I think the numbers, just in big numbers, is $15 million over the next 10 years, $15 billion for the state highway system, which is what Director Serapatini's main nuts and bolts work is, and then there's going to be $7.5 billion to the locals. So Alameda County is going to get their fair share. They're going to do it. So Bill's right. There is an effort to undo SB1, and we're going to be vigilant and involved in that. This is, again, a great collaborative effort that we have to make sure that these projects are funded, that they go forward. And, there's another project that we have up that's going on, another regional effort to raise the tolls of the bridges, the RM3. And that's going to, provide some improvements, at least in my down south where 880 and 680 connects, and, lots of improvements throughout the whole Bay Area. So, the massive infrastructure projects, they improve our way of life. They, I imagine that we're going to come back here in 5 years and see this area transform with livable streets and complete streets. So I want to thank everybody, all the staff or non-staff that worked on this. Congratulations, Ashland.
So originally we were going to have Supervisor Miley and Chan. Supervisor Chan didn't want to share her germs with us, so she will not be here. But we have speaking today will be Brianne Gala, Community Development Initiative Manager for Resources for Community Development, with a perspective from the individuals who live along State Route 185. Brianne?
Thanks. Let's see. I'm a little tall. Okay. Hi, my name is Brianne. I work at Resources for Community Development, or RCD as we're known around here. Thank you again to everyone for making this day and event possible. It's great to be here. RCD is a nonprofit affordable housing and community development organization. We've been doing work in the Bay Area for the past almost 35 years, so and hopefully many more to come. We are actually working on a new initiative here in Ashland to create positive change in this neighborhood. We've been doing that through this comprehensive community development strategy that really weaves together investments in affordable housing, infrastructure, health, leadership development, and economic development. I think one great example of that actually is the corner that we're standing on. With the support of Alameda County, we were able to develop Ashland Place, where we hope you'll all join us later for our reception. But this is an 85-unit affordable housing building for low-income and working families with about 220 or so residents living here. So we were really excited about that partnership with the county, and along with that actually came this curb extension and bulb out that we are standing on now. So East 14th Street was realigned for this project, really to improve pedestrian safety. And we're really looking forward to more of these kinds of projects moving forward, as we know that pedestrian safety issues are a top concern for people living on this corridor. The relinquishment of East 14th Street is significant for residents in Ashland and Cherryland due to some of the ongoing challenges that were mentioned earlier, but we are constantly hearing from community members about high traffic speeds, unsafe intersections, and a lack of bike lanes in this community. And you know, while many in Alameda County see East 14th Street as this thoroughfare to speed through, we know from our work here that there are lots of families that live on this corridor or live very close to it and really call this place home and deal every day with the harsh conditions of living along a state highway. So I know I speak for many of the families that we work with in saying that we're really excited to see some of these changes underway and to see what comes over these next years. One other thing I wanted to mention is that about 30% of Ashland and Cherryland residents are under the age of 18, which is about twice the county average. So we're a very young community, and we see more and more parents actually coming together to volunteer as crossing guards, to launch walking clubs, and really working on policy issues related to improving the streets for our young ones, and so that they can get to school safely, get to the Reach Center safely, etc. So we really are seeing this passion bubbling up in the community, and are really excited about the relinquishment of East 14th Street and all that it means for everyone here. Well, I guess with that, I'll conclude. I know you've heard a lot of us, but I just want to say thank you again to everyone for being here, and we hope to see you inside Ashland Place after. Thanks.
All right, now for a bit of symbolism. This sign for 185 is the shape of the shovel that was used by the 49ers, and that was the symbolism used to denote this highway. I'm going to pass this to the Caltrans director, and we will then symbolically pass from Caltrans to the county as facilitated by myself and Senator Wieckowski. All right. Okay, you can let go. I very much. Oh, do we need more posing for pictures, or?
We can go inside too.
All right.
Another one off my desk.
All right. Well, so Brianne is right here. She has hosted us here and will be hosting in the reception, which is around the corner, and Brianne will lead the way. Thank you all very much.